Hello, Skipper. Hello, Navigator. Half a minute to go. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Edamon. Edamon is here on the podcast for Baboon Yodel. How is everybody doing today? This is your host, Edamon. Welcome to Baboon Yodel. And you might be feeling weird today because you are not hearing Renee Church. I've kicked her out and she's fired from the podcast. No, I'm joking. She's not fired. She's just a bit busy, and I thought that we'll have some other guests on the podcast. So let me introduce myself first. I'm Edamon, your favorite singing host. Please welcome your other host, Hetta Dawson. How's it going, Hetta?
Kia ora, everybody. It's nice to be here today, and thanks, Ed, for inviting me along to your podcast.
Hetta is way too formal. All right, Hetta, you have disappointed us right from the start. I'll ask you again. How's it going, Hetta?
Oh, how's it going, everybody? In podcast land, it's great to be here with Ed and the other fella, and that other fella is... Oh, that was your cue, bro.
Speak, other fella. Other fella is dead.
Oh, hey, g'day. How's it going? I've been paying attention. It's all good.
That's good.
How are you guys doing? You all right?
Oh, very good, very good. As the other fella's name is Corin Healy, and he's quite a popular comedian in New Zealand. He's quite underground, very underground. He's way under the ground. So
you're so polite. Underground.
Very alt and underground. So Hetta and Corin were a part of a sold out show in 2019 in the comedy festival. Our show was called My Country. I think all our listeners know about it, and we had a lot of fun and we sold it out. Now, how's life going for you guys? I'll start with you, Ballblag. I keep calling Corin Ballbag because his name on the software is Ballbag. All right, Mr. Corin Healy. How's it going?
Oh, it's been interesting, right? I mean, we've got the kids home at the moment, and also looking at doing the day job as well. So juggling those two things, and yeah, it's been okay. I mean, I think mentally I didn't really leave lockdown for those.
All right.
Months. I kind of just stayed there and didn't do that many gigs, not as many as you two anyway. And kind of like, yeah, it feels like I've come home again, come back into lockdown. You know?
Isn't there a song? Is there a song? I'm coming home tonight. I don't think so. There's no song. No. All right. All right. That's good. What about Hetta? How's it going? How's life? How you feeling? How's your balls? How's your heart?
Oh. Well, for context, everybody in podcast land, we are in level 3. You know, this is season 2 or level 3 lockdown.
Yes. New Zealand is back in lockdown. I'll just tell our listeners why. It's because we have 4 cases in the community which we don't know how they got it. So that means it's a dangerous thing. We don't know how it got there when we have control on the border. So the government has stepped in with the iron hand and shut it all down. I mean, only Auckland. Auckland is shut down at level 3, and we're enjoying it. I'm not feeling that bad. I mean, I was disappointed, but I'm like, let's do it. Just go with it. Let's do it. It's the best way to. If they had done nothing, I would be way more nervous.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like we're in safe hands. I think we're doing well. We got a strong leadership who is telling us, you know, what we need to do to keep safe, keep the community safe, keep each other safe. It's good.
We have a.
I think that if I think it was always coming, and we were just waiting instead of being this only country in the world that had this, 102 days before we had any community transmission. But I think that, leading up to this, the government was always priming us as preparation. And so entering into this level 3 seems like the best thing to do for us.
Yes, I completely agree because since level 1 started, since we opened up, since then everybody has been saying that it's going to come, be
Mm.
prepared, be ready, be prepared, be ready. And all of a sudden last night when it was announced that we are in level 3 lockdown,
Mhm.
uh, everybody just found it as a surprise. Oh my God, what the hell happened? Oh my God, shit. I was like, well, it's not a surprise. The dude has been, past 2 weeks, he's been yelling out of his lungs, the beautiful um, the, and just emotion inducing
Mm.
personality, Ashley Boomfield has been just playing with my emotions since the past 4 months. I mean, the aura that the guy gives is just makes me tingle all over the body. But
Mm.
he has been making good scientific points
Mm.
since the start, and I don't know why all of a sudden people are like, "Oh my God, why is it happening now?"
That's so true. I got a
And-
question. You guys, have you guys bought a mask? You guys bought masks yet?
Yeah, I have. I'm just flipping my underwear upside down. I'm wearing it on my face.
because that works as well. Is it's better than nothing, Ed. It's better
It's
than
better than
nothing.
nothing.
Mm.
Better than nothing. But the good thing would be if I would put it in a wash. I just do it. I wear it for the whole day, and then I put it on my face. It's somewhat a good experience, but I'm still having conflicted feelings about it. What do you think? Is it a good idea, or should I put it in the wash?
I think maybe not your own underwear. Maybe
Oh,
maybe someone else's.
oh, okay. I'll go around. I'll go around the area and ask for the 90-year-old Indian fella who's my neighbor. Let's see who's his underwear might work. I'm sure it's going to be white, but you never know. White is a very gullible color.
Well, you know the rule about wearing underwear on your face: stains on the outside, not the inside.
All right,
Mm.
that's a good. So yeah, we're heading into, like, for instance, you remove the only self-identifying female from the podcast, and all of a sudden, three boys are talking about skid mark underwear. That was natural progression
Yeah,
in conversation of boys.
Just went there. Just
downhill.
went straight there.
Yeah. Well, coming back to the actual question, I have some masks, and I've got a couple of bandanas that I use sometimes.
Mm.
Those microbial.
Mhm.
How do you say it? Microbial. How's that? How do you
It
say
sounds
it?
good.
Microbes.
No, it's antimicrobial. Heta, what's the word? I mean, you know English way better than everybody. Um,
I know it is, as long as it covers your face.
All right, that's good. That's good. It
Mm.
covers my face, and it it keeps the bacteria away. So it's pretty good. Did you? Because I'm still feeling like. Did you guys go somewhere to buy the masks?
I went on a website called Culture Kings out of Australia. They're sponsoring today's podcast, and ordered about a week and a half ago. I ordered these 4 masks. They're reusable ones, one for myself, one for my wife, and one each for the kids. And they're real stylish, and they cost $70 plus delivery.
Whoa.
And
Each?
I paid more. I paid more for them to get here within 2 to 6 days, and they still have not arrived.
Oh my God!
Culture bloody kings.
It's gonna take a long time.
Mm.
As you can hear in the background, Corin has its own audience in the back. They're laughing at Corin's jokes. It's fantastic. Um, So, what about you, Hera? What's the go? What's the? I know that you have some bandanas already. I've seen many pictures of you having something around your neck, um, but I don't know if it's skin or bandana. So, what do you? Do you have masks?
Yeah. My son works. He's an essential worker, and they wear masks as part of his job. So he just brought a whole bunch home, and they use hand sanitizer all the time. So gallons of the stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty set though. I did go out today, and there was a lot of masks being worn at the same time there
Mm.
weren't. And I had it, and I wore it on the inside of my jacket. I don't know; it just seemed really weird to be wearing a mask at this stage. But now that we're in lockdown level 3, I doubt it. I'll be going out, and if I do send anyone out, I'll send out one of the kids and make them
Yeah.
wear a
So,
mask.
but what you do, you don't have to go. You
Yeah,
why would you have to go? Yeah, it's. But I mean, you should put it out. You're a stand-up comedian. You should put it out there, man. Be open with your personality. Wear the mask.
I've got a mask that looks like very close to what Darth Vader would wear when he was a little kid. So
Hmm.
so
Mhm.
I could wear that and scare the shit out of people. At the same time, people will go, yeah, respect. That's a mask.
Well,
That's a mask.
that's good. You can just go around telling kids, "I am your father." So that's that's that will be so much fun.
Especially my
I
own
am your
kids.
I am your father, but not for the
Mm.
childcare payments.
There you go. The one-liners coming out of the ball bag. So that's a great joke. It's good. Do you guys think it's going well? Do you think our conversation is going well?
Yeah, yeah.
I think you guys are holding back, but I'll warm you up. I'll massage your bones a little bit. So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Mhm,
Mhm.
All
mhm.
right. Let me ask you
Mhm.
a question. So why do you think is the virus back? Is it 5G? Right? Is it Kim Jong Un? Right? Or is it the communists? What's the one of
I
the three? Do you have to choose? No, you can choose the fourth, none of the above. But it will be funnier if you chose something else.
I actually have a theory on this. I actually think it's come back and it's sponsored by Countdown. Countdown is sponsoring the resurgence of coronavirus because they just want to sell more stuff. They want to sell more toilet
Ah,
paper. They're just like, hey, we're going to fly some people in. We're going to get it out there. We're going to sell some stuff, sell some booze.
yeah. They've
That's what
got
I think it is.
spray cans. They've got in their back alley storehouses. They've got they've got cans and cans of Dove ultra whitening whatever deodorant, which is filled with coronavirus. I'm sure of
They're
that.
spraying it on everyone.
Yeah, yeah. They're just selling that shit, and everybody gets it, and then they go buy more of that shit. Yeah.
That's exactly it. Hmm.
Hedda, what are your thoughts about conspiracy theories?
Ever since the PM announced that we're going into lockdown, every person with a tinfoil hat kind of screwed it on a little bit tighter and started rolling out their theories about the
Mm.
reason why, and all of them make sense. That's the thing about it. There's too
All
many
the,
to choose from because they're all true.
yeah, it's they're all solid evidence based scientific evidence. I mean, it's a weird situation when you can say that um look at that guy went in there and he sneezed, and look at that, a test station opened after that in the same area, and look at prime minister, you're not telling the truth. Let us know the truth. And, it's crazy shit.
Some
Yeah,
crazy, crazy
I was
shit.
I was
Yeah.
embarrassed yesterday. I saw some news coverage of our prime minister out in the public, and she was walking along, and the cameras were there, and a lady walks up to her and says, "Prime Minister, can you tell us about 5G in the community?" And they cut away from that because the look on our prime minister's face was just like, "What are you saying?"
Ah, shit. Was it a journalist? Was it a journalist who asked that question, or just a random lady?
It was a random middle-aged lady, and she looked like she should probably know better. It was crazy, seriously. I just laughed out loud.
Oh
I would.
man.
I hope that when the prime minister gets to the end of her, her career as a politician and as a prime minister, she just cuts loose.
Mm.
When
Yeah.
someone says something like that, she just goes, "Just shut the fuck up. Can you just
He's
do
like,
that?"
he's like, fuck you, bitch. Shut the fuck up. Go home. Shit in your tinfoil hat. Rub it on your face. Eat that shit and die. No, just Prime Minister. If you can imagine Prime Minister losing her shit, that's a funny image. I
I
mean, you
reckon
can.
I reckon what she'd do is she'd just look at one of the Secret Service guys or whatever they are around here, and she'd just give them a nod, and they'll just mob that person.
Yeah, don't even mob it. They just shoot them. They're like, all right, what did you ask? 5G. Bang.
That's
Well,
the way to use your executive power.
yeah, that's how you use your power, not by going on the stage and saying, "Please, 5 million people, help us do this." That's what she's trying to do. She's trying to get everybody together to get this thing solved as soon as possible, which is quite good. I'm happy. I mean, I'm disappointed, but it's a global pandemic. What are you going to do? You just follow the instructions and keep the virus out. I'm definitely sure when Jacinda Ardern writes her memoir when she's like 63 or something, that will be a banging book. What do you think?
It would be. Yeah.
That would have some shit in there that, listen, I was sitting down and the guy Ian Lees Galloway came in and said I was having this affair with my secretary, and I told him that, you motherfucker, you're the minister of immigration, you're fucking around in the office, you goddamn piece of shit. I think that dialogue would be so good in a Jacinda Ardern book.
And she's standing there with a flat palm, just like slapping it on the table, like, just punctuating every point, just like, you motherfucker, like that kind of thing.
Yeah. let me tell you how I feel, and then drags him out of the room and then kicks him in the face a few times and say, you motherfucker. I mean, I can't stop imagining Jacinda Ardern shouting at incompetence around her, just saying, you motherfucker.
And then she goes out to the media and says, yes, I fired him.
Yeah. Yes, I fired him. He was working very hard, but he just stepped out of the boundaries. If you want to talk to him, he's unconscious in the back, and I don't know what happened. I think he fell, but yeah, man, this is. But imagine when these things come out. Imagine when this happened. Now, for our international listeners, listen, we're talking a lot of New Zealand politics here. We have like 12 Chileans listen to this all the time. Ooh. So just bear with us about this, and some Americans as well. Listen, America, listen, you go to lockdown right away. You don't fluff around, right? So just learn from us. 22 deaths. That's it. How many of yours? I don't know. You can't even count multiple figures. You can tell your death numbers by the same way as you tell somebody your salary. I've got a six-figure salary. No. I've got a six-figure death toll. All right. Sorry.
That's all right. Hey, it was a good rant. It was a really good rant, actually. I like that one a lot. I guess the question is, can they understand us when we're talking like this? Can they even understand every word we're saying?
Well, listen, I've got an international accent, right?
Oh,
so
man of mystery.
I'm understandable everywhere. I'm not sure about you guys with your you come on, fish and chips and
Can I, mate? Fish and chips time. Pass me the pen.
I was just talking about international stuff. The other night I was watching Border Patrol. You know what Border Patrol is? It's an Australian program where their Border Patrol people are checking bags and immigration and stuff like that, right? So they open a bag and they, did you declare this?
Oh yeah,
it's a great program, and I was watching it, and they always seem to be Asian people. And they, open the bags, and then one person opened the bags and it was full of cigarettes, full of it. And the other bag was full of cigarettes. And she started crying. And another Asian woman had said, declare any food. And all the bags were full of food, and it was meat and fungus and all this sort of thing. And I was looking at it, and I was going, man, the xenophobia associated with because the Australian audience and things like that just look at it and go, oh, look at these Asians, they're trying to put all this stuff in through the country.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, well, what is it like in China, and they're doing the same thing with Australians coming through Border Patrol?
The Australians are coming through and they've got a meat pie and they're like, "What the fuck is this? You guys, what the hell? What is this pastry and meat and gravy inside? What is this lame ass pale bullshit? Just we'll put you in jail now."
Exactly. What are you doing with this kangaroo? What are you trying to bring it into our country for? And what do you call this? What is it? Wheat Bix. What is Wheat Bix?
We went to Australia a few years ago and we took the kids with us and we landed in Australia, and you go on the flights, especially the cheap ones like Jetstar and stuff like that. They don't give you food. So we had fruit on that flight with us. And as we're approaching customs, my wife has a backpack on and she realizes that she's got a banana in her backpack.
Oh, shit.
And you know what she does?
Eats it.
She gives me the backpack. She set me up. And now
you know what that's called? You're a mule. A banana mule.
You know what, though? I think she realized that I'm going to be very careful what I say here. I think she thought that I'd fare better going through customs with a banana. And I got a letter. I got a letter from their customs warning me not to bring fruit into the country.
Oh, so they didn't stop you? They just let you go, but then they found the picture later and they said, look at this guy.
No, they stopped me. They searched the bag and they found the banana and they said, "What is this?" And I said, it's a banana.
What the fuck do you think it is?
What kind of question is this? You're trying to trick me? And I said, "It's a banana." And they said, "You can't bring it in." I was like, "Yeah, no, I know." And they just gave me a letter to say, "Don't do that again."
Jesus, your wife used your white privilege.
She did. That's why she gave me the bag.
Yeah, she gave you the bag, and she's like, "Listen, man, listen. You got a thing going on with the skin, and listen, you can handle the banana interrogation a lot better than me with my chocolate skin. I can't. You do that."
You just, for Ed and I, we just stick it down our pants and people, all right, just go through, please.
Well,
they would say, "What the hell's happening in your pants with these two bananas, one very short and one really huge? What's that? What's that happening in the pants?"
I was thinking about options around where I could stick the banana to get to sneak through, but it just wouldn't work for me. Yeah,
unless you can put it in the back of your pants, but that would just mean that you've just shat a big log and. I mean, so it's a good way. Then the whole customs team will just walk away from you. They will just say, "What the? Okay, this guy needs a hospital. Just go. Just please just go." Is that a banana?
So, Corin, have you forgiven Cheryl? No, obviously not. That's why you're bringing it up on this podcast.
Bring up also.
Anytime I do something stupid, like might be get a car parking ticket or something, I'll be like, "Hey, remember the banana? Remember
the banana? Do you remember the banana?"
We should clarify for our listeners that Ballbag's Corin's wife is not of the same color pattern that usually most white people have. So I didn't know how to put it. She's brown. She's brown.
She is a beautiful, exotic-looking lady.
Exotic? You think brown is exotic? Oh my God, Hedda, what the hell is he saying?
All these years I've been exotic.
All these years you've been exotic and you've been kicked to the curb even after
the treaty.
The treaty
I said it.
All right, let's let everyone know the treaty is a treaty, which is, I think everybody knows what happens wherever indigenous people exist and white people invade. There's always a treaty which nobody follows. So there was a treaty here as well by the by the invading British and indigenous Maori. So yeah, that didn't work out well. So, but we've got comedians here telling a lot of white comedians tell stories about Treaty of Waitangi. Um, we've got a favorite comedian who does that, and I think both of you know who I'm talking about, but we won't say the name. So
Who are you talking about?
I'm
I
not.
just clicked. I just clicked.
I'm not talking about Hedda. You can do it, but there's another white dude who tells a Treaty of Waitangi joke,
Oh,
which
all right, all
he's
right.
he, he, well he's quite proud of that, and then he explains that it's not racist, but I'm not sure. I mean, freedom of speech and blah blah blah.
I'll be
Whatever.
honest with you. It is actually a horrible joke from so many different angles. I mean, one, it's like a treaty-related joke from a white guy, which is like, wow, that's really bad. But then he turns it around into a misogynist joke, which is really bad as well. And it's like, wow, you're trying to recover that by explaining the joke and making sure that it's a misogynist joke. It's like, buddy, that's not
It's
cool.
it's a double whammy. It's a shit sandwich where the whole thing is the whole thing is shit. Like usually when you say that the shit sandwich is like you say a good compliment and you say a good compliment, and in between you complain a little bit. So that's a shit sandwich. But his one is like the KFC double down.
I was going to say double down. You're right.
It's a it's a, it's a sandwich, shit sandwich, but all made of shit. The whole thing is shit. Yeah. So
The first time I heard that joke, I thought to myself, oh my God, what the hell is this? And they kept on running with it. They kept on running with it, and they kept on doing it. And every time I heard it, I would cringe and just go, oh my God, what are you even saying?
yeah, well, I guess it gets some laughs as compared to my initial career when I was doing fuck the fish jokes and they weren't getting any laughs.
What
And
was that joke? Tell me that joke. Can you tell
I've
us?
never heard it.
no, I can't tell you that joke right now because it's a shitty joke. I'll send you a recording about it. I think you guys joined the comedy community right after I dropped that crap. So maybe it can be a better joke now if we revisit it.
We could punch it up. We could punch it up. I mean,
In the next episode, I'll just bring in the joke. I mean, I don't know if you guys are gonna be in the baboon yodel next episode, but I'll bring in the joke and we can punch it up. What do you say?
I think so.
Yeah, it's a great idea. We can bring each of us can bring a worst joke. The joke that fell flat, and see if we can punch it up. It's good. Good idea.
All right.
Fuck the
That's-
fish. I'm excited about it already. Let's get to the next one.
Immediately, I think to myself, has he got the stakes high enough? Should it be fuck the shark instead of fuck the fish? It should be something. Or the stingray.
Well, you would need to hear the background, the premise of the joke, which will really not make it better. So it's a fantastic joke that I mean I hold it close to my heart because it's one of my first jokes from my first gig. So, but it was shit. So
Was it a true story?
no, it wasn't a true story. No.
There's always a
don't
little
like-
bit
I
of
don't-
truth in all the gags.
I don't like. I mean, yeah, they're always. I mean, I wouldn't mind fucking a fish. It's just, I mean, the fish can't say yes. I mean, I'm all about consent, so
No, yeah.
so I can't. I can't. I do. Only Aquaman can fuck fish because he can actually ask the fish that, listen, what do you guys think? Let's have it. Let's get it on. And then the fish says, oh yeah, let's get it on with your tiny Jason Momoa dick.
But
And
then all you can hear after that, though, is when they come back and go, and you're like, was that a
oh,
yes?
fucking hell. Shit. This has never happened in Baboon Yodel. Jesus Christ.
That was my fish impersonation.
Fucking hell. Anyway, let's well, what else is on your mind? I think Heta has always things on his mind. What's bothering you nowadays? What's the go?
Thank you for asking. Right. I mean, You put me in a really tight bind here, asking me that kind of question, Ed, because there is a lot on my mind, and I don't know how long we got in listening land. But what I want to do is I want to turn this around and say, hey, Corin, what have you been up to lately? Because you've been doing quite a bit, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. Before
In the context of, we're three comedians. We get to a whole bunch of different gags. We even different gigs all over the place. We put on our own shows. We're going to Whangarei, hopefully, for the festival in October. And so we make our own things happen. And something happened to you. Are you allowed to talk about it? Yeah, of course.
I think I'm about it. Yeah, I'm allowed to talk about it. So Hedda made me aware of this TV show that was coming up called Last Dad Standing, and the premise of the show is
and Hedda didn't get it. Let's just get out of the way. Get it out of the way. Let's just get it out of the way right at the start. We need to get it out of the way.
You know why? I'm too much of a dad. That's why. I've got 5 kids. They just saw those kids and went, nah, he's too much of a dad to be on this one.
It's gonna break the airways. It's just so much dad in him. But anyway, Corin, we've got that out of the way. Let's continue.
The last dad standing, and just basically you get into a ring, like a mock-up boxing ring, and tell the opponent dad jokes. And if the other person you're telling it to laughs or has any expression at all, then they lose. And that's it. And you tell the worst dad jokes you can possibly make up, and they will laugh or not laugh or whatever else. And I can say this without naming his name, but the person who I lost to was a fill-in for Heta.
Motherfucker.
Fucking hell. The racism all across the nation.
I'm telling you right now, Heta could have been a contender, although not if he was against me. I would have probably won. But anyway, Heta's fill-in. Heta's fill-in won it. And I was like, holy shit. I can't believe that.
Oh, it would have been so much fun if you guys were facing each other. And I'm sure Hedda would have laughed first. Hedda laughs at everything. He doesn't...
Oh, you're kidding. Bro, I'm not even laughing now.
I can hear you laughing.
But you can't... poker face, bro. Go ahead. Tell me a joke. Nah. It's rubbish.
Isn't it...
But what the guy got me with is he'd tell a joke, and I was like, yeah, okay, that was funny, but I had my resting bitch face on, and I was like away laughing. But then he would spend 10 seconds doing an act out to punctuate the punchline, and he got me, and the edge of my mouth curled up, and the judges were just like, nah, got you. And I was like, shit. So I didn't. Yeah. The slightest flicker of laughter or even a smile, they'll just be like, nah.
In the first round?
I can't give it away. I'm contractually bound to...
yeah, it sounds like the first round. You got knocked out. You got knocked the fuck out. That's what happened.
I knocked myself out.
That's the loser. That's the loser talking. That's the...
You got knocked the fuck out by a smirk. That's what happened.
Yeah.
If I was producing that show, I would have got through to the final. That's all I'm saying.
Well, good on you, man. That's cool. So
what's the show? Just, so the show is that the contestants, they tell each other dad jokes, and then it's like a round robin or a playoff type situation where people get knocked out, and then somebody goes into the final, and then they win, right?
That is exactly it, mate. It's just like the Cricket World Cup. I was New Zealand, and I choked. I choked really hard.
You were not New Zealand. New Zealand went to the final. You didn't even reach the semi-final. So it's like you were like Zimbabwe, which not even in the World Cup. You were like Pakistan, who just didn't get any playoffs. Listen. You gotta accept your losses to be at peace with yourself.
Sorry.
and have friends like us so that you can hate yourself forever.
Did you have to dress up? Because the photo you sent me, it looked like everybody was dressing like dads.
Yes, I did. I had to dress like a
Shame
farmer
on you,
dad.
man. Shame.
I know. I had to go on national TV and dress like I was a farmer. And the guy who was hosting it, a guy called Jordan, who was the how-to dad guy, he dresses like a farmer. He wears the gumboots and the swan dry and all that. And he calls me out. He's like, "Hey man, are you encroaching on my style?" And I said, "Yes, I am."
Oh shit.
I when I was interviewing for the show, and they said, "Oh, they told me what it's going to be like a WWE," and they go, "Oh, what kind of persona will you have? Where do you come from?" I said, "Oh, well, I live in South Auckland, and I could be head of the hitman. I'll come out there, and here comes the hitman from the south." And the person interviewing me, she said, "I love that, but you'll just basically scare the shit out of all the dads." So I think I wouldn't be wearing a farmer's outfit, but maybe, I don't know, gang-related
Well,
clothing.
you can. I mean, definitely. You can have a colorful jacket. That's the PC way to say it. A gang related jacket. It's like a colorful jacket with insignia on it.
Yeah, nice little logo. Yeah.
Different crests. The crests. People have crests on their jacket, so you can have like a big crest on your back.
Or maybe just a red T-shirt, something understated like that. That'd have been fine.
Yeah. No.
Oh, that's good. Good on you, Corin. I can't wait to.
Right,
when are you going to be on? Because I think I'm busy that time. But
next Thursday. Next Thursday. It was an interesting experience because you weren't winning on the quality of your jokes. It was winning on the ability to maintain a resting bitch face, and that was it.
Yeah. That's the person who can do that. I think you should have been on heroin. If you're on heroin, you should have just get some like a bit of pill of heroin, like or like or something, a tiny bit of a fingering of your ass with some heroin. Then it would have kind of gave you an emotionless look.
But then my delivery of jokes would have been like this.
Did you? Because I know you had to have at least 40 jokes, and I gave you quite a few, by the way.
You gave me
did
three.
you, Jenny?
You three. You gave him three. Hera, don't over exaggerate your contribution to someone's success.
They were bloody good jokes, by the way.
They were glorious. I wrote them on the toilet wall.
Corin, you're a little bit close to the mic. Stay back a little bit.
How's that?
Yeah.
Is that better?
That's better, yeah.
All right.
So
but they did ask about personas. Like Hedda, you talked about being the crusher or the destroyer or something, and
Hitman. Would you listen?
Hitman. Sorry, I was on Facebook. Sorry.
What were you? What were you?
Well, I try to slip it in. I'll see if they actually make it in or not. But where I grew up in Te Puke, there's a term called Te Puke Thunder, and that is when the helicopters used to go across the kiwifruit orchards looking for marijuana. And so the strain of marijuana from Te Puke was called Te Puke Thunder. So, and some people know about it, right? So we've done gigs together, and sometimes I'd say, "Who knows where Te Puke is?" And occasionally someone would call out Te Puke Thunder, and it's like, "Yeah, okay, I know what you're up to." And that's what it's about. So they said, "What's your name?" And I said, "Well, I'm from Te Puke, and I bring the thunder. So I'm Te Puke Thunder." And I want to see if they bring it out or not, if they actually use it in the show or not. Because they might not. They might like go, "Oh, hang on a minute. He's talking about marijuana."
Listen, I mean, you've built it up too much, right?
You guys keep on asking me.
Now we are really excited. We are really excited to see it. And, our hearts and penises are for you, and we really want you to succeed, but you've already lost. So we really want to see the success on the TV. Hopefully they don't cut you out. Is there a possibility that they can cut the whole thing out, like your part, or is that possible?
Yeah, look,
is that possible?
There's a possibility that I just am like a featured extra. I'm just in the background.
That would be sad.
That'd be a waste.
That'd be cool, man. I mean, not the Fiji exit. I mean, it's cool that you got in and I didn't, and it, it's not taking anything away from you. But how many jokes did you use of mine? I'm not. No, I'm just saying.
I used the best joke first. I'll just say that.
Yeah. I think usually I was expecting, I mean, I was expecting Hera to outperform everyone. But then, I mean, you came out like Rocky, Corin Healy. You just came out like Rocky,
Mm.
and you were like, listen, Hera, I know you have these plastic bag jokes and all that bullshit that did you fucked the mic stand and all that crap. All of that works for the crowd. I'm talking to the nation. I have the dad jokes.
Exactly. I used that treaty joke we talked about before. I stole that one. Went down so well.
Well,
Not going
on this podcast, we've talked about a lot of personal shit. Hopefully, it's interesting to other
Mm.
people. I mean, we talked about a lot of things. I mean, let's recap. We talked about the lockdown,
Mhm.
talked about conspiracy theories. We talked about masks, how to put them on, but don't follow our instructions,
Mhm.
and also some success that we have had within the team.
Memoirs
To
of the PM.
Yeah, memoirs of the PM. That would have been that would be a fantastic. I mean, it can become like a movie. Have you seen the movie Raid?
Yeah,
Anybody?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it should. Her book should be changed into a movie like Raid, where Jacinda Ardern just kicks everybody's ass in the beehive, and then just wins in the end. That's it. That's it.
That's awesome.
So
You know,
um,
we touched on conspiracy theories a little bit, but I do
mm.
you mind if I have a little rant about conspiracy theories? Because I
Let's
Sure, sure.
let's do a rant. Let's do a rant.
I think.
Just step away a little bit from the mic,
Oh,
because
sorry, man.
I mean,
Sorry, yeah.
I know your emotions are boiling,
I'm
but
trembling with
yeah, you're
rage
trembling.
right now. I think what really annoys me about the conspiracy theories is that you get an otherwise rational person, and they get hooked by something, and it sounds like they start getting hooked into some sort of cult. And when you look at all the conspiracy theorists that's sharing this stuff, it's all the same stuff, and it's all got the same sort of like flavor to it. And it's like some guy's got into McDonald's, and he's like, "Man, this Big Mac. I like this Big Mac. I like that sauce. It's really good." Then someone else starts talking about the sauce in the Big Mac as they do a conspiracy theory, and then you can just see them going down that rabbit hole, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I just find that really, really infuriating. And it's one of those things I don't know how to help someone out who's into that. And you guys haven't been talking for the last minute or so, so I'm starting to finish this rant now. I might stop. Yeah, that's good.
No, I completely agree with you. I mean, I just now had a Facebook clash with someone about a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was. I mean, they put out some correlations and events. So something happens today,
Mm.
another thing happens tomorrow. That means they are related, and
Oh
because of that, there's a conspiracy. So
man,
I in the post I asked her what's the evidence, and they shared with me a an NZ a Herald article,
Hmm.
and also a date of when the testing station opened. So they were saying that when a person presented at a clinic
Mm.
with symptoms, and when and around the same or next day the Manureva um, testing station opened.
Mm.
Oh my God, the government knew about it because it was happening on the 6th. But then you read the article, and the article says on the 6th he wasn't tested. Nobody knew he had COVID. So
Mm.
that kind of beats down the theory. And then the second option he said was that at around the same time, Chris Hipkins was saying all this weird stuff to Jerry Brownlee, and I was like, okay, that's no issue at all. So I kind of slowly, with each post, I kind of cut down the first option. He said, listen, these two things happen at the same time, but then on the 3rd of August, the Eden Terrace testing station opened. How's that related to the whole thing? And then 2 weeks ago, the Queenstown station opened. How the hell that is related to everything? So he didn't have any answer to that one. And then I said, well, Chris Hipkins, everybody says things about Jerry Brownlee all the time, especially Winston Peters. So how's that related to this whole conspiracy that the prime minister is hiding information from us? And then in the end, he just said, oh, somebody from inside told me. I said, now you're now you're saying that now you've come back to us and just said, well, somebody told me, right? Where with your, if you see your post, you said, oh my God, this happened, we need transparency. And he was just being all misogynistic about Princess Cindy and all that bullshit,
Yeah.
right? And we know that person. I'll say the name offline, and you can check out the post. But and then I just told him that, listen, your first argument didn't work, your second argument didn't work, and then you end up saying that somebody told you, which can't be refuted. But then if it's a tip, you have to substantiate the tip. You haven't substantiated it.
Yep.
And there might be something wrong, and 4 weeks later something will go wrong, and you will retrofit it to your theory,
Yes.
which would be not really honest. So you got nothing, and you just went about a irresponsible rant and create confusion amongst people who are already scared of the whole situation. So shut the fuck up. So that's I think that's a good example of what you said.
Frustrating, eh? Just when you see that kind of stuff going on, you're just like, come on, man, show us your evidence. And you're like, here's a YouTube video that I watched.
That's what that's the they'll say, oh, listen, I've got the answer to this, and then they'll share a meme of Edward Snowden saying something. I said, what the hell, did you just Google search in the images and you put up a meme? How's that evidence?
That's the
for you? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can tell you.
Yeah, and they will relate anything to anything. If it rains and floods, and at about the same time it's flooding, and I take a shit, I can just say, I was taking a shit and I flushed and there was a flood. They're related. Yeah. So that's the kind of thing that their mind goes through. And if you just prod ask them some more questions, they will fall out, and then they will say, oh, somebody told you, I can't say their name. All right, that's great evidence of your argument.
That's terrible. I can't wait for you to tell us who that is.
Oh well, you will quite. You won't be amazed. You won't be astonished. It's not the person that you might be thinking right now. It's not that person. So yeah, I know what you're thinking, but it's not that person. It's a different person. None of the two. I think you're thinking of two persons. It's not both of them are excluded, and I think Heta is quite quiet. I think he kind of agrees with the conspiracy theory. That's why he hasn't been chiming in.
I believe in them all, and by believing in them all, I believe in none of them. It's pretty deep, eh?
Oh, really? It's like that Darth Vader thing, like you do. I don't know.
Holy smokes! Do you think using your example here that all the conspiracy theories, if you line them all up, will cancel each other out, like in a big circle?
Exactly. Or if you get them all together, they just eat each other up.
They just eat. So it would be great to put all the conspiracy theorist people in one place for extended period of time, and they'll just eat each other up
with a bunch of Kool-Aid. They could drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, they'll drink the.
Yeah, I tend to. If I have friends who are toting those sort of theories, I just unfollow them. Yeah, I don't want to see shit anymore. So see you later.
I can't unfollow them because me. Throughout the previous lockdown, I was always engaging. I was not ignoring. I said, how can you say that shit without any opposition? I got to give you some opposition. It was not good for my mental health, but
yeah.
But somebody got to say that shit, and I did that. It didn't change anything. People forget about it in a day anyway. So.
One of my guilty pleasures is I've unfollowed this guy, but every now and then I'll go on his page to check out what kind of crazy shit he's peddling, just to
Yeah.
just to have a laugh. Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
ended up unfollowing your mate after the last one he posted,
It's the
which
same guy.
which I did tell you. Okay, mate, have you seen your mate? No, I unfollowed him. Same.
No, mate, not
Well,
my mate. No, you know.
well. Now one of these guys is Jerry Brownlee. You know, Jerry Brownlee is a
Mm.
national MP.
Yep.
And the National Party is you can say the conservative center of right party of New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
And Jerry Brownlee is the campaign chair, and he's one of the ministers, not ministers, one of the shadow ministers there. And he just came up on the stage and he just said three things that, listen, this happened, and then this
Yeah,
happened, and then this happened. Make what you want of it. And then he moonwalked back. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? You're a minister. You're a member of parliament. You can't put out conspiracy theories like that.
Did
And he's
he?
doing that Trump thing. Yeah, yeah,
Damn.
yeah. He was saying that. Oh, okay. I think one of the points was Ashley Bloomfield said that get masks,
yeah.
and then the station started opening, and then Ashley Bloomfield gets a test, and the next day there's a lockdown. Ooh, and then walked away. and 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 the reporters kept asking him, so what do you mean? What do you mean? Well, so do you mean that it's a conspiracy, they're hiding something? And Judith Collins was there, and she said, "Oh, it's up to you to ask the questions now. It's up to you to ask the questions." And when they asked the question to the prime minister later, prime minister said that this is bullshit. I need to focus on this, and I just keep the politics out. And it's completely ridiculous that if something that we would hide something
Mm.
that will affect the health of the nation.
I
Makes
think
So
one of the things with the Prime Minister is that because she knows that sort of stuff happens and there's the social media aspects of it where there's rumors. And I've seen her do this before. They go, I'm hearing this and it's not true. And then they play back the timeline of when Bloomfield got a call and then when she got involved and all that sort of thing. So, that's one of the good things I like about the Prime Minister is that she calls that shit out. She
Mm.
tries to be as transparent as possible. And then you got these other dudes on the other side gaslighting a whole bunch of shit. And it's Trumpism. Trump does that
yeah,
sort of thing. And it's just really annoying.
yeah. They
Frustrating.
they were doing that same thing with the elections. I mean, Judith Collins was crying that, oh my god, I don't get to I don't get to campaign. Oh my god, it's so
Yeah.
democracy is dying and blah blah blah. Well, listen, there's a pandemic and we got community transfer. What the hell do you want us to do? Let you campaign? They're not campaigning, and obviously they're just jealous that the prime minister get a stage and talk to people and create a strategy and deliver results, or not deliver results, whatever the way it gets it.
Mm.
She has the opportunity to do
Income.
it, and they don't have that. Well, it's tough luck,
Yep.
big shit, because you didn't win the election, so you don't get the opportunity to do that. Don't complain that you can't do it. So, oh, I can't. And she was saying, nobody told us. We didn't know about it. Nobody tells us anything. Oh, it's just that Jacinda Ardern doesn't tell us anything. Oh my god.
I think Judith Collins just needs to up her TikTok game. She needs to do that. Get some real good TikToks out there. She might be
Yeah,
able to put some sort of chance.
yeah. Some good boomerangs. She needs to do some good
Some
boomerangs.
boomerangs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I've liked her forever, but she's not doing. I mean, I'm not liking her as the leader of the opposition too much, because it's too confrontational and conspiratorial
Yeah, that seems
and
to be the strategy of the opposition, right? It's just might be stating the obvious, but they just seem to go whatever the government's saying, they just take the opposite, and it's like, well,
yeah,
why don't you take similar but say yes, but this, like do the improv thing,
yeah.
go yes, but yes, and something
Listen,
like that, because
and Judith Collins was way worse than Simon Bridges, because
well,
Simon Bridges, when no, yeah, Simon Bridges was way better, uh, at the time of the lockdown when it started, when she announced the lockdown, and he was like on board. He's like, support the government, blah blah blah, and then we hold the government accountable, but we are on that decision. But this time Judith Collins was not on board. She was like, oh, we didn't know anything, we don't know. What about the elections? Oh my god, I can't tell people that I want to win.
The interesting thing about, and I'm pretty sure I heard this correctly, is that if there was something to do with the election, and would they consider a mail-in ballot? And she said no straight away, without even, no, this is a reason why. And it's exactly where Trump came along and goes, no, it's fraud. It's rough fraud, and without any evidence.
Yeah. That's that exactly right. You're correct. She did that, and very very Trump-like. I mean, and I'm not going all lefty here because I'm not totally lefty anyway. I don't agree with many of the stuff because I haven't grown up in New Zealand. So when John Key was there, I liked, when he was running for elections the second time, I was like, fine, he's done some good stuff, and it's fine. And Labour wasn't up to it at that time, so I was fine with it. But so I don't have any loyalties since I was a kid. So I'm whoever does well, I go with them. So
I think one of the things you pointed out just then is that I don't know if 3 years is long enough for a government to be effective, because they're effectively governing for maybe 2.5 years, and the rest of the time they're either running defense or they're campaigning. So, well, how effective? Sorry, my Rona's kicking in. So they're like not that effective for part of that term. So I do wonder if they need like a longer term in office, maybe 4 years or something.
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree with that. 4 years is a good time. 3 is not enough. But I guess people would make an argument. The opposite argument is if the government is not doing well, you get that time to re-elect someone quickly rather than later.
Hey, I've really enjoyed being on. Was it Bubba Yoda? Bubba Yoda? What is it?
Baboon Yodel.
Yodel.
He's a big fan. You can tell.
Yeah, I listen to it all the time.
All the time.
Don't sit on the podcast, Peter.
All right. I'll go have my dinner, bro.
Oh, right. Okay. You need that food. I mean, it's like 8:48. So in your life, that's like 2 a.m. or something, right? So like you gotta hit that bed.
You know it, bro. You know it.
You had that chamomile, so you gotta hit that chamomile.
But
so
no, I really enjoyed it. Are we going to be invited back again, or just me?
Yeah. We'll do this again. We might.
That's awkward. That's awkward.
We'll do this again, and I think we kicked in well. I think we started with with some awkwardness on you guys, and then you guys started becoming more comfortable, and then by the time that we are reaching the hour mark, we were completely comfortable in having good conversations. It doesn't have to be funny; it can be serious, it can be anything. We might do our own podcast. What do you guys think? We can do like a thing together.
Hey, that sounds good.
That's a great idea. I mean, we've never talked about it, so it's great.
Is this going to be part of the podcast? This part of our talking right now?
Yeah.
Oh,
I haven't shut it down yet. So, what's your Hedda? What's your social media? How can people find you, follow you, or they can just go see your daughter's events?
Is he still there?
Are you there, Hedda? Where did he go? I think he left.
I don't want people following me. If you know who I am, you'll find me. There you go.
All right. Okay. So he's not that into it. So he doesn't. He's still a bit angry about that dad show. So
Why did you have to bring it up again?
So Ballback, Corin Healy, what's your
I got my Twitter handle is just Corin Healy. My Insta is _Corin Healy, and if you want to see me dance around in my undies all seductively on TikTok, my handle there is some fucking guy.
You have a TikTok?
I had a TikTok. I do have a TikTok. Yeah, it's called Some Fucking Guy.
Hedda, we never knew about that.
Some
Do you know
fucking
about that,
guy,
Hedda?
all right.
It's
I hadn't.
yeah, it's
We got to follow that.
I put on my wife's undies and I'd prance around in front of the camera. For about
Oh
30 seconds.
Jesus!
I usually do it to Nelly.
Alright.
I usually do it to Nelly. It's getting hot in here, and had a lot of older men actually liking my content. Got
All right.
yeah. So it became
No, that's fun. At least there's some fans, of course. It's great. So my personal Twitter handle is EdAmonEd. Nobody follows me, so you don't have to.
that's a long Twitter handle, mate.
Yeah, EdAmonEd. That's the one. But you can find us on Twitter. It's at Baboon Yodel. You can email us at baboonyodel@gmail.com. On Instagram, we are Baboon Yodel. Send us emails, send us hate mail, send us death threats. Send us to if you like any of these people. We just want some communications. I mean, we've been having some great emails, but send us some hate. I like some hate, so that would be great. And thank you all for coming. Don't cut off, you guys. Once I said goodbye, we'll talk about it. But to the general public, Renee will be back soon. If you have missed her, send us some love mail or hate mail if you don't like her. So thanks very much, and we'll see you soon.
See you.
Yep.
Bye.
Dying to go to the toilet.
Yeah!